As far as SmackDown goes, not much of any importance really happened on Friday outside of the main stuff, which I guess is the most important thing with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan and Edge. Edge is now playing heel heading into WrestleMania with Bryan as the sympathetic babyface who made his case for why he deserves to be in the main event of WrestleMania. If this seems awfully familiar, if you think back to what happened with poor Batista heading into WrestleMania 30, triple threat scenario, Bryan as the underdog babyface, eerily reminiscent of what we saw 7 years ago. But Bryan cut this promo and he talked about how he was screwed over at Elimination Chamber in that short match with Roman Reigns at Fastlane. He made Roman Reigns tap out, but the referee didn't see it. Edge hit him with a steel chair. Edge is now obsessed over getting his WrestleMania moment. And by the end of the show, he was laying out WWE officials. He hit Pat Buck with a chair. He hit this person, and maybe Jamie Noble, I think, was one of them. And honestly, it's for the better. I mean, Edge. We know that Edge is a very good heel. Edge really had the best run of his career on SmackDown as a heel. And in front of fans at WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan is likely going to be cheered as the babyface anyway. Now, again, as much as I will say there are similarities between this and 7 years ago, it is not exactly the same thing. But it is a very similar situation heading into what is now officially a triple threat match. Adam Pearce made it official at the end of the night. I do love the fact that we hear about Edge and Daniel Bryan both getting positions on the creative team on their respective shows. They both get added to creative, and it just so happens that both men wind up in the WrestleMania main event. Learning from the game, I see. Learning from the game. I'm sure just a happy little coincidence. But I couldn't help but notice that as I looked at what will now be a triple threat, and I said to myself, we've heard stories about Edge helping out on the Raw side and Daniel Bryan helping out on the SmackDown side. And both of them have now earned themselves a spot in the WrestleMania main event. They did a KO show segment where Kevin Owens challenged Sami Zayn to a match at WrestleMania, which Zayn accepted after some initial hesitation. So, fight forever indeed. They are hyping a Logan Paul appearance on SmackDown this Friday as part of Sami's red carpet premiere for his big conspiracy documentary. I like the fact that they've been filming actual footage now. Apparently, it's real footage that his camera crew has been filming now for months. So I think it would be humorous to see what the finished product looks like. Kind of give us a sneak peek on TV, and then I say release the whole thing on Peacock. Like a full-length documentary on the network. Logan Paul being on SmackDown this Friday is apparently going to lead to a Logan Paul appearance of some kind as part of this match at WrestleMania. I don't know if that's for a referee spot, if he'll be outside the ring. I guess the idea is that they want one big celebrity name, but again, whether you consider them big or not, apparently the Logan Paul following is quite large. So by today's standards, he is considered a big name. I just think of Logan Paul and I think of Dead Body in the Forest guy. This to me is scraping the bottom of the barrel. Big of a star as he may be, you are scraping the bottom of the barrel with Logan Paul at WrestleMania. But they're doing it because they want one big celebrity name for each night. So you'll have Logan Paul on one night, you'll have Bad Bunny on the other night. They think that this will create new young fans for them. I guarantee you that it will create a minuscule number of new fans for them. I cannot imagine people who are interested in seeing Bad Bunny and Logan Paul are going to watch WrestleMania, like what they see, and then tune into the weekly television and stick around for more than 2 weeks. Especially if it's on the Monday Night Raw side. I cannot imagine anybody, any great number of people would subject themselves to such a thing. And then we have the Adam Pearce announcement at the very end with Bryan, Edge, and Reigns, with Edge going mad and laying everybody out. You can really make a case for any of those three. walking out of WrestleMania with the championship. Roman Reigns retaining, I still say, is the likeliest outcome. But you can have Edge as a heel take the title by pinning Daniel Bryan and protecting Roman Reigns from eating the pin. Or you could have Daniel Bryan have himself another big show-closing title win by tapping out Roman Reigns again, just like he did to Batista at WrestleMania 30. I wouldn't have expected Batista to be the one to tap out to the S-Lock. Or he could tap out Edge. I just don't think Bryan needs it. I just don't see it. I don't see them replicating WrestleMania 30 here on this show. I think either Edge gets it or Roman retains. To me, those are the two likeliest outcomes. Now, if Roman Reigns retains, which is probably what I would do, if he retains, you could split off Bryan and Edge coming out of WrestleMania into their own singles feud. And if, let's say, Cesaro were to beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, you could get 1 or 2 pay-per-views with Cesaro challenging Roman Reigns for the championship. Keep the Cesaro push going for another couple of months before they inevitably give up on it. So I really wouldn't say the outcome of this match at Mania is all that predictable. That's kind of what I like about making it a triple threat. Plus, I just think it'll be a better match that way. I think Roman and Edge, if it were just heel versus babyface, I think it would have been fine. But with Edge playing more of a heel role, and then you put Bryan in there, and look, you put Bryan in any match. It's like, dropping some seasoning on a dish. That's what Daniel Bryan is. It always enhances the dish. It makes the dish taste better. So I think it makes for a better match at WrestleMania. I said last week, WWE owes it to the people paying to attend WrestleMania to let them know what the main events are going to be for nights 1 and 2. And not only do we know the main events, or at least what the key matches are going to be, we know what a lot of the matches are going to be and when they are going to take place. Bobby Lashley is going to defend his WWE title against Drew McIntyre on night 1. Sasha Banks defends the SmackDown Women's title against Bianca Belair. The Miz will take on Bad Bunny. AJ Styles and Omos challenge New Day for the Raw Tag Team titles. Seth Rollins takes on Cesaro. And Shane gets thrown off the pirate ship. So that's night 1. Night 2 has Roman Reigns defending the Universal title against Edge and Daniel Bryan. Asuka putting her Raw Women's title up against Rhea Ripley. Randy Orton against The Fiend. Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn. And Big E defending the Intercontinental title against Apollo Crews. Roman Reigns is going to headline night 2. We know that. There is no other match that should headline that second night. But if ever there was going to be a year where it made sense for them to send each Royal Rumble winner, the men's winner and the women's winner, to the true main event of WrestleMania on both nights, this is it. This is it. Now, I know they're probably going to want to headline night 1 with a Raw match to kind of balance things out because the Universal title is going to headline night 2. But what I would do is, I would very seriously consider headlining night 1 with Sasha Banks against Bianca Belair. And then you have Edge challenging for the Universal title on night 2. Your 2 Royal Rumble winners. Now, I know it doesn't work out that way every year. More often than not, in fact. You don't really have the Royal Rumble winner going to the true final match of WrestleMania. I mean, they basically killed that idea years ago that the Rumble winner actually headlines Mania, right? The opening match of WrestleMania is not the main event. The last time we saw Edge defending a world championship at WrestleMania was against Alberto Del Dipshit. That was the opening match of WrestleMania 27. And Del Rio won the Royal Rumble that year. That was the first and only 40-man Rumble match they ever did. Oh, you win the Royal Rumble, you go to the main event of WrestleMania. No, you win the Royal Rumble, apparently you curtain jerk WrestleMania. They try to sell it like it's the main event. It's horseshit. Everybody knows it's not the main event. They did that with Del Rio in 2011. They did it with Sheamus the following year, right? He also opened the show against Daniel Bryan. 18 seconds. Beat him for the world title. WrestleMania 35, Seth Rollins opens the show, beating Brock Lesnar for the championship. Although Becky Lynch won the Women's Rumble that year, and she did headline. But really, this year, there is no reason they cannot put Sasha and Bianca on last on that first night, even though I've been less than enthusiastic about the way they've built this match up. I do think the work in the match will be good. So that's what I would do. Ever there was a year to stay true to what the Royal Rumble really should be, this would be it.